The Berlin Wall stands as one of the most enduring symbols of division, secrecy, and human struggle in modern history, but its hidden story reveals far more than concrete and barbed wire. Beneath the surface of its well-known narrative lies a web of covert decisions, personal sacrifices, and geopolitical chess moves that shaped the Cold War era. In the bustling city of Florence, where history whispers through every cobblestone, I'm delighted to welcome you to the English Academy, where we unravel tales like these. The origins of the Berlin Wall trace back to the uneasy aftermath of World War II, when the victorious Allied powers split Germany into zones of occupation, sowing seeds of tension that would soon sprout into something monumental. By 1949, Germany had fractured into two nations, the Democratic West, backed by the United States and its allies, and the Communist East, under Soviet control. Berlin, though deep within the Soviet zone, was itself divided, a microcosm of the broader ideological rift, its streets pulsing with the uneasy coexistence of capitalism and socialism. As the 1950s unfolded, East Germany faced a mounting crisis. Its citizens were fleeing to the West in droves, lured by promises of freedom and prosperity, a silent rebellion against the oppressive regime of the German Democratic Republic, or GDR. This exodus threatened to drain the East of its workforce and undermine the legitimacy of Soviet-style governance, a humiliation the Kremlin could not tolerate. In the shadows, Soviet leaders and their East German puppets began to whisper of a drastic solution, one that would seal the border and trap their people within an iron grip. The idea of a wall was not born overnight, it simmered in secret meetings, fueled by paranoia and desperation, as early as 1958, though no one dared speak it aloud to the world. By 1961, the trickle of defectors had become a flood, with over 3.5 million East Germans, nearly a fifth of the population, having escaped since the war's end, a statistic that gnawed at the pride of the communist elite. In the dead of night on August 12, 1961, the order came down from Moscow, shrouded in secrecy: build the wall, and build it fast. East German leader Walter Ulbricht, a loyal Soviet disciple, had long denied any such plans, famously declaring just weeks earlier that nobody has the intention of building a wall, a lie that would soon crumble under the weight of reality. At 1 a.m. on August 13, under the cover of darkness, soldiers and workers descended on Berlin's streets, unrolling barbed wire, tearing up roads, and erecting the first crude barriers, catching the city, and the world, off guard. Residents awoke to a nightmare, families were split, lovers separated, and lives bisected by a jagged line that would harden into concrete over the coming months. The secrecy of the operation was its strength. Western intelligence had inklings of something brewing but lacked the specifics to act, leaving the United States and its allies stunned as the wall took shape. President John F. Kennedy, grappling with his own Cold War battles, privately fumed but publicly opted for restraint, knowing a direct confrontation risked nuclear escalation. Behind the wall's rise lay a tapestry of espionage, with double agents and informants feeding scraps of information across the divide, though never enough to pierce the veil of Soviet subterfuge. The Stasi, East Germany's feared secret police, played a pivotal role, orchestrating surveillance and silencing dissent to ensure the wall's construction went unchallenged within the GDR's borders. Yet the wall was more than a physical barrier, it was a psychological weapon, designed to break the spirit of those who dreamed of freedom. Its watchtowers and death strips a constant reminder of the cost of defiance. For every story of division, there were tales of resistance, tunnel diggers burrowing beneath the wall, daring souls leaping from windows, and families smuggling loved ones in car trunks or hot air balloons, each act a thread in the secret history of human resilience. One such tale belongs to Wolfgang Engels, a 19-year-old soldier who, in 1963, stole an armored vehicle and crashed it into the wall, escaping under a hail of bullets, his story buried in Stasi files until the regime's collapse. The wall's architects, meanwhile, cloaked their work in euphemisms, calling it the anti-fascist protection rampart, a propaganda twist to paint the West as the aggressor, a lie swallowed by few beyond the Iron Curtain. Economically, the wall was a gamble. Sealing the border stemmed the brain drain but locked East Germany into stagnation, its industries unable to compete with the West's dynamism, a slow bleed that gnawed at the GDR's foundations. Across the decades, the wall evolved, its early makeshift barriers giving way to a sophisticated system of concrete slabs, electrified fences, and 302 watchtowers, a fortress of secrecy stretching 96 miles around West Berlin. Yet cracks formed in its facade, defections by border guards, hushed protests, and the growing voice of dissent amplified by smuggled Western radio broadcasts chipped away at its invincibility. By the 1980s, the Soviet bloc was fraying, its economy buckling and its grip loosening, while in East Germany, citizens began to gather in churches and squares, their whispers of freedom growing into roars. The wall's final secret unfolded on November 9, 1989, when a botched press conference, meant to announce minor travel reforms, accidentally signaled the border's opening, unleashing a flood of East Berliners who tore at the concrete with hammers and hands, their euphoria toppling decades of division. The fall was as sudden as the rise had been stealthy, a testament to how secrets, once exposed, lose their power. In the years since, historians have peeled back layers of classified documents, revealing the wall's architects as men haunted by their own insecurities, their grand barrier. A monument to fear as much as control. Today, fragments of the wall stand as relics, tourist attractions dotting a reunited Berlin, but its true history, woven from the silent struggles of the trapped and the scheming of the powerful, remains a haunting echo of a world once split in two. The Berlin Wall was not just a structure, it was a secret kept from the people it confined, a lie built brick by brick, and a story that, even now, continues to unravel in the shadows of memory.